Imagine a quiet day by the pool, carefree children's smiles, and the splashing of water. Everything seems so calm and safe. But in an instant, everything changes. A father casts a glance in the direction where his daughter is swimming and freezes with horror. What he sees knocks the ground out from under his feet. This event doesn't just disturb the peace. It awakens an ancient instinct to protect him as he realizes that a man with no morals or boundaries has gotten in her way. We know how important your loved ones and your safety are to you. And that's why we raise such difficult, disturbing topics, because each of you is a like-minded person who helps spread the truth and defend justice. It is really important for us to know who you are, our dear viewer. Write in the comments what your name is and what city you are from. Your support is not just numbers, it's a movement, it's a voice that helps our channel grow and bring important stories to more people. You are our strength and inspiration, and every response from you lets us know that we're doing this for a reason. We appreciate you incredibly much. Thank you for being with us. Enjoy the show. A warm morning by the pool. The clear water shimmers in the sun, sparkling with glitter, as if promising children and adults a day of carefree relaxation. Parents are relaxedly chatting on the edge, watching their children. Laughter and joyful shouts spread throughout the complex. Everything seems so peaceful and safe, almost idyllic. A little girl splashes at the edge of the pool, her father watching her nearby, smiling at her genuine joy. The pool is a place where no one expects danger, where parents can breathe for a moment, let go of their worries and let their children explore the world around them. But the shadow of an unseen threat is already lurking among the ordinary faces, not standing out among the vacationers. This cozy and safe corner will soon be filled with tension, and none of them knows yet how quickly that sense of peace can crumble. The public pool, always full of life, seems a little quieter today than usual. It's as if the setting itself is a warning, as if the water, calmed by the first rays of sunlight, knows that something is ahead that will make everyone present remember how fragile that line between safety and danger can be. Public spaces are not just places for recreation. They are an important part of life, where families can gather, leave worries and cares behind, and be together surrounded by like-minded people enjoying a peaceful environment. Places like this pool provide children with priceless memories, the first lessons in trust and independence. Here, children learn to interact with the world around them, in an atmosphere where adults support their freedom and together create a sense of security. For parents, such spaces are a rare opportunity to share moments of carefree happiness with their children, to observe them in a calm environment where danger seems distant and unreal. It is here where a child can swim on his own for the first time or, splashing his mother with water, laugh with joy, that trust in others is strengthened in people's souls. That is why it is so important that public places remain areas of safety and respect, where neither parents nor children face the shadow of threat. Every morning when families arrive at the pool or park, they believe they are in a place where everyone shares common values, caring, respect, and protection of the weak. But as it turned out that day, even such safe zones can suddenly turn out differently, leaving parents and children alone with the painful truth that danger can lurk in the most mundane situations. The idyll of that morning was suddenly broken, in an instant, as if the sunlight had disappeared behind a dense cloud. The girl, who had been playing by the water, suddenly froze, her joyful expression replaced by surprise and fear. What she saw was incomprehensible and disturbing, something that should not have been part of her serene morning swim. Her father, from where he stood, caught the change at once. There is always a thin thread of anxiety in the calmness of parents, an intuitive desire to protect the child, which was quickly awakened in him at the sight of her frightened look. his heart clenched, and the familiar sense of security instantly evaporated. As he came closer, he saw what had happened, and he barely restrained himself from rushing forward to protect his daughter from this offensive intrusion into her world. The moment was like a blow, disturbing the peace not only of their family, but of the whole atmosphere of the pool, where everyone seemed to be part of the same community. People noticed the change. Their gazes became anxious, the atmosphere wary. Parents hugged their children tighter, suddenly realizing that even here, where everyone believed in safety, where children could play safely, the boundaries of their trust had been shattered. This incident highlighted how easily peace can be destroyed by one wicked act, and how important it is to always remember to protect the safety of everyone around us, especially children. The girl's father stood stunned, his heart pounding like an alarm. He realized that a split second separated him from the moment when he would have to act. Anger and fear struggled inside him, anger that someone had dared to violate his daughter's sacred boundaries, and fear for her sense of security, which he knew would be difficult to regain. His gaze was intense, hard. He stepped forward, trying to create an invisible barrier between his daughter and this man. Every parent knows that feeling, the instinctive urge to protect their child at all costs. In that moment, he realized that despite the outside world, only he could be a shield for her, keeping evil away. Other parents, noticing the tension and anxiety, involuntarily took their children a little further away from the water, looking around warily. They, too, sensed this turning point, as if the usual order was suddenly threatened, and all became more attentive, more acutely aware of what was happening. Parental responsibility, quiet and constant, was in the air more clearly than ever. As the father looked at his daughter, he saw her eyes, which had recently been shining with joy, become wary and confused. This moment would leave a mark on her, and he knew how important it was to be strong, calm, and protective now, to show her that safety existed and that she was always under his protection. That day he realized how fragile trust is, how important it is to always be on guard. No one should feel threatened in public places, especially children, and every parent knows that they are the last line of defense for their children in this complex and, sometimes, cruel world. My father stood still, feeling his instincts sharpened to the breaking point. He felt that his own body had become like a radar, tuned to the slightest sign of threat, able to detect danger before it became apparent. The incident reminded him of the power and importance of parental intuition, the quiet but ever-faithful voice that warns of unseen but tangible dangers. Every parent, even in mundane situations, carries this vigilance with them, constantly checking the space around them. They often don't notice it themselves, but they are always a little more attentive to where their children are, who is around them, and how they are feeling. This pool case showed that parental intuition is not just a trait, but a vital defense mechanism. It allows you to notice what others may not see and take action in time to prevent possible harm. Recognizing the threat, as well as his own reaction to it, strengthened his confidence in the importance of parental sensitivity. He realized that even the most seemingly safe places require a certain amount of vigilance, because ultimately, his daughter's safety is his personal responsibility. From that moment on, he knew he would be even more careful. He wouldn't allow himself to relax completely in public places, knowing how important it was to always stay alert. He hoped his daughter would forget that day, that her childhood memory would erase the episode, but he himself would remember it for a long time, as a reminder that his intuition and protection were the first and last lines of defense she could always count on. This pool incident clearly showed how important it is for everyone, adult and child, to understand boundaries, respect the space and people around them, especially in public places. We often think of such places as zones where everyone follows unwritten rules of mutual respect and safety, but as this day showed, not everyone shares these values. The girl's father realized that behaviors that some may consider harmless or ignored by others can actually disrupt the sense of security of others and leave a lasting mark on their minds. It became clear to him, responsibility for behavior is not just a personal matter. It is an obligation to everyone around him, because one person's actions can change the atmosphere for everyone. He understood that realizing this responsibility should be part of everyone's education. It is important to remind people that public places are shared spaces where everyone is obliged to observe not only laws, but also norms of respect. Such places are created so that everyone can enjoy freedom, but without violating the boundaries of others. This day was a lesson for him and his family, a reminder of how important it is for everyone who comes to public places to remember. Our actions affect those around us. Respect, responsibility, and understanding of personal boundaries are not just words. They are the foundations on which trust between people is built. And the more people realize this, the safer and more secure such places will be for everyone, especially the most vulnerable, children. After the incident, the father noticed how his young daughter had changed. She became a little more quiet, her confidence in the world around her shaken, even if she could not yet express it in words. There was a kind of wariness in her eyes that is usually absent in children who are confident in the safety of their lives. The incident had left a mark, and as a parent, he realized that it would take time for her to regain the ease and joy with which she used to play and interact with others. For him, too, it was an ordeal. The guilt of not having kept her from that moment of fear kept him in the dark. Although he had done everything he could to protect her, her father felt responsible for making the situation happen in the first place. He had to reassess his expectations of public spaces and his role as a parent, who was now even more alert and vigilant. At such times, the support of the family becomes indispensable. He and his wife tried to create a cozy atmosphere at home for their daughter by spending more time with her, talking and discussing her feelings. They realized that talking openly about fears, even in the language of childhood experiences, helped to manage anxiety and rebuild trust. The family became a safe haven for her, a place where she could be herself without fear of external threats. But there was more to it than that, the father realized. The family can't always cope with such trials alone. Society, schools, other families all play an important role in creating a shared atmosphere of support and understanding. Open conversations, fostering respect for others, and supporting psychological health all form an environment where children can feel safe. Community support in these moments is vital because it helps families regain confidence and feel part of a community that shares common values and is always ready to lend a helping hand. The incident at the pool showed the girl's father the importance of sharing and discussing such stories with others. Spreading the word is not only a warning, but also a way to remind society how important it is to be vigilant and ready to protect each other, especially in public places where people with different views and values cross paths. When people are aware of such incidents, they become more alert, and this sharpens their intuition and willingness to help when needed. Public opinion is a powerful tool that can drive change. When people hear about such incidents, they begin to think differently about the responsibility they have in public places. When parents, teachers, and other adults realize the reality of such threats, they become more aware and teach children to trust their feelings, be cautious, and always seek help when needed. By disseminating information about such incidents, society learns not only to be cautious, but also to develop norms of behavior that set clear boundaries, what is acceptable and what is unacceptable. These conversations, though difficult, help create a culture of respect and safety. Over time, this leads to undesirable elements understanding that their behavior will not go unnoticed, and in turn, parents and children are supported and encouraged to believe that they are not alone in the face of danger. Communities and community organizations play an important role in this by disseminating information about precautionary measures and available support resources. Knowing that incidents are occurring in their neighborhood, city, or country encourages people to not be indifferent and to intervene in a timely manner in situations that could harm others. The more people become aware of these situations, the more public attention is heightened, and this is the best way to prevent similar accidents from happening again. This incident got the father thinking about how he and other parents can protect their children in public places and make sure they are prepared for any unexpected situations. Time spent talking with other families and reading about similar incidents helped him develop specific precautions that he wanted to share with other parents. Here are some of these simple but effective recommendations. 1. Teaching children personal boundaries. It is very important to explain to children the concept of personal space and to teach them to respect their own and others' privacy. They need to understand that any behavior that makes them feel uncomfortable or anxious is unacceptable, and they can always tell an adult. 2. It is important for parents to maintain an atmosphere of open communication where the child is not afraid to talk about his or her fears and worries. Trust is the foundation on which safety is built. If a child knows that he or she will always be listened to and helped, he or she is more likely to report any strange or unpleasant situation. 3. When in a public place, such as a swimming pool or park, parents can identify safe areas with their child in advance, such as places where there are always guards or trusted adults on duty. This could be a lifeguard stand, an information desk, or simply a place that is always crowded. 4. Even if parents are at a distance, they should try to maintain visual contact with their child. This does not mean watching their every move, but it is important that the child knows that they are protected and that their parents are always there to help. 5. Teaching rules for responding to unpleasant situations. Children need to know what to do if someone violates their boundaries. For example, parents can teach them to say no or stay away loudly, and, if possible, to approach their parents or other trusted adults immediately. 6. Periodic reminders and role-playing. You can have periodic role plays in which children practice their reactions to unusual situations. It doesn't have to be frightening or intrusive, but these games help children better remember what to do if someone makes them feel uncomfortable. 7. When going to a swimming pool or park, it is a good idea to meet the staff, if possible, and explain to your child that they can always ask for help in case of problems. This gives the child an idea of who to go to if the parents are temporarily away. These simple measures not only help children feel more confident, but also remind parents to remain vigilant. Taking responsibility for children's safety means giving your child constant attention, support, and reassurance that they are always protected, and that their safety is a top priority for their family. The incident at the pool left a deep imprint on the father's heart and made him rethink the importance of public spaces and everyone's role in maintaining safety. He realized that the responsibility to protect children lies not only with the parents, but also with society as a whole. Public spaces such as swimming pools, parks, and playgrounds should be safe and comfortable areas where children can play and develop freely, and where parents can be assured that their children are in a supportive environment. Creating a safe space is an effort that involves everyone: families, recreation staff, organizations, and people who just care. When parents come together, share information, and support each other, it creates a safety net that makes it impossible to neglect safety. When public facilities train their staff to be observant and provide parents and children with access to resources for safe behavior, public places become better and safer. Understanding and supporting each other is at the heart of true safety. The more people realize the importance of boundaries and respect in public places, the fewer threats become. A child grows up confident and free when surrounded by a community that protects them, teaches them personal boundaries and respect for others. This father, who experienced the painful realization of what could disturb his family's peace, found a lesson in this. A lesson in the importance of supporting each other and sharing knowledge. The importance of not remaining silent about what needs public attention. A society where everyone is responsible for safety becomes a place where children can live and grow, free to discover the world. For the sake of their future, it is worth coming together to make sure that every family can say with confidence, "We are safe here." If this story made you think, please share your opinion in the comments. Have you or a loved one ever experienced similar injustice or racism? We would love to hear your stories and opinions, as every comment you make is very important to us. You are our inspiration and support, and we appreciate each and every one of you incredibly. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and give us a like. That's how you help us bring important topics to more people. Thank you for being with us, and have a great day.